Okay, this past Sunday, the question came up about taking things personally. Many of you are familiar with the 4 agreements. I was going to say assumptions. The 4 agreements. Don Miguel Ruiz wrote a book 20 years ago, 25 years ago now, that supposedly harvests the wisdoms of the Toltecs. And we don't really know anything about the Toltecs that the Aztecs didn't tell us, and the Aztecs were sort of holding them up as this ancient civilization that had greater wisdom. And you know how we do with that. We sort of idealize things. And basically the 4 things he picked up were things that don't really sound like Toltec to me, but what do I know? I do know that I have a disagreement with all 4 of the agreements that he's describing. Not so much that they're wrong, but that they're partial. And that's true with this, the agreement, which is don't take things personally. Now, it is important for us to recognize that a lot of what comes at us from other people that we might hold on to and feel bad about and kind of massage and kvetch over is stuff that's simply a projection of somebody else, and it really doesn't have anything to do with us. It's just them venting, right? And it's really good for us to let that go. The problem is, how do I know? How do I know whether what somebody's saying to me is personal or not? And this is tricky because the things that will impact us the most are the things that come at us from somebody that we have a personal relationship with. The closer we are to somebody, the more likely it is that what they tell us is gonna hurt if it's critical. So, do I take this in or not? What is this about? So this is kind of nice because this leads very nicely into the 3rd discipline, which is cultivating critical feedback. I'm going to invite folks to give me feedback. No, I'm not. I don't want to hear that. If people are going to give me feedback, they're probably going to tell me something that they don't like about me. There's going to be something that's a problem, and that's going to hurt. So I don't want to hear it. So the reason it's a discipline is because it's hard to do, but it will help us if we do it. I actually do want to know how my behavior impacts others. And they're going to be reluctant to tell me if they don't see me as somebody who's open to hearing that feedback. So we really have to cultivate it in order to allow it to happen. The thing is, some of the feedback that we're going to get from other people is entirely their projections. It's something that has nothing to do with us, and we're fully within our rights not to take it personally. But if everything that comes in is something I don't take personally, then what about the stuff that I do that's actually harmful to somebody else? Where I am repeatedly behaving in a way that's upsetting to someone else, someone I care about especially, right? Somebody I have a kind of relationship with, and I'm doing stuff. How am I going to know if I don't listen to the feedback that they give me? So the trick here is to take it all in, to listen to whatever feedback we get, to seek it out, to bring it into our own interior, and in our interior awareness, then we kind of throw it out on the sorting room floor and we figure out what's the good stuff and what's the junk, what belongs and what doesn't belong, what's the gold and what's the garbage, what's the grit. So, in order to do that, there are some kind of rules that we have, or guidelines in any case, about what is a helpful feedback, what is the junk. So that's the work of the discipline. But to go back to the whole question of whether or not I take things personally or not, there are certain things that people tell me that is really not about me, but it's about me. They've aimed it at me, so it's personal, even if it's not personal. So this is being able to hold both of those, hold it in ways it's not and that it is at the same time, is a part of being able to be comfortable with paradox. And that is a characteristic of the higher order ways of thinking, the 2nd tier, non-dual awareness. So this is a good place to practice this. This one can push us beyond 5th order and up into 6th order. All right? So I invite you to be looking at what are the things that you're getting from people around you that you are prone to take personally. And part of you is saying, I don't know that this is really about me. Okay? And bring that with you when you come Sunday night. I'll see you then.